being all accomplished artists in each of your respective fields, how have you seen personally the interest in Carnatic music in children specifically change in the past few years? And this sort of ties back to the previous question, because all of these children who are going to Cleveland are all very talented students. So how have you seen the interest and also talent in children change in the past couple of years?
They say the numbers are in the 400s. From 300s to 200s, it's gone up steadily. It's a very big fact there now. We have statistic to say that the interest is climbing. People are fabulously turning towards Carnatic music. Augurs well for the future.
There's more exposure, more motivation.
We've been hearing this. This is like Y2K. If you talk about the computer field, said, oh, it's all going to crash. No, we're still going strong. Mainframes will die. They said, no, mainframe is dead. Everything is still. I'm talking from computer lingo. But they said this 25 years ago when I was part of a small group of people that includes some of the very big names today in the field of music, starting an organization called the Youth Association for Classical Music, known today as YAC, celebrating its 25th anniversary this year. When we started it, 10 of us were in that group. And they told us there's no future for, but we had the support, some of the biggest names, Shamagudi Mama, MS Amma, Balasubramanian Auntie, Bombay Sisters, they all came to all our events and supported us. We had help from corporate people to start this organization. But at that time they said, oh, Carnatic music is not really thriving, not. All those artists are the stars of today that you see. So, I mean, all I'm saying is, it's good to be skeptical, but let's be positive. It's going to go well, it's going very well. And Cleveland is proof for that. You guys are proof for that.
Can I yeah, sure. The South, because of some reasons, I'm in touch with many different ethnic groups in the United States, and I'm kind of interested in how they treat their traditional music. And South Indians, but especially South Indians, are the #1 group who are enthusiastic about their traditional music in two respects. One, the older generation is both interested and knowledgeable. In other groups, like Iranians, like Turks, the older generation goes to such events only just to experience something of their country, to remind. But in case of South Indians, they are very knowledgeable. Whenever you go to a concert, they keep the bit Britain. And second, they encourage their kids to learn it. In other cases, even if kids get encouragement, they just listen to pop music. They just live the usual American college life and things like that. So, I mean, I'm not surprised that Cleveland is getting more and more people every year.
And Faridunji, I have to add, that's why 2000 years Carnatic music has survived. Because we've pushed it, it's an oral tradition from word of mouth, right? From teacher to student, teacher to student. We're really thrilled. In 2010, we still have the Veena, which is 2000 years old, the Mridangam, which is 2000 years old, and Carnatic music.
Probably even more.
Even more. Even more is true, because we know Rigveda had Veena for accompaniment. Rigveda is 4000 years old. So thank you for saying that. It's very true. I've forgotten that we really do propagate it by telling our youngsters and young people what is it that we're giving them. It's a rich heritage.
One thing I wanted to add is maybe there is we are reaching a critical mass of the number of students across United States and North America. Maybe the number of students right now is 4,000 or 5,000. Right? If you actually count in places like California, places like New Jersey, New York, places like DC, Texas, Toronto, you're reaching a critical mass of about probably 5,000 really die-hard students. So
I would say the number would be even more, because a place like Minneapolis, Nirmala, for example, has seen at least 100 students in the last 4 or 5 years that I've known.
There was a competition called the Carnatic Star of Minnesota. We were very apprehensive. Yeah, it was run by an organization in Minnesota with the Karnataka brothers. They came and ran it. Fantastic. First multimedia presentation contest was held. There was a multimedia for the first time ever, Sashikiran ji was telling me. And we were surprised with the turn. We had close to 100 entries in the various categories. There was Kriti, there was Varnam, and they were grilled. They were grilled in the... I was so happy to see that, because children had to push themselves to sing. They had, Tokada. So Ravi, you're very right. We have a big volume of young people.
So the important thing is, see, many of these students, they learn for probably 8-10 years of their school period. Now the important thing is we need structures in North America that will encourage the students to continue beyond the 8 years or 10 years. So this means, making, regular youth concerts across North America in several, locations, maybe in California, New York, and DC, and those places. And you can have a, regular list of students who, it just loops through the whole list. And there'll be, to maintain quality, people will check. You can upload your own, tapes and so on, and you can do quality control that way. And of course, it has to be all impartial and everything, which I'm sure it can be. And I think we are reaching a stage where we can do that, and so this gives more performance exposure to the students, which is really critical.
Very critical,
right?
For performing art.
For different, vocal, mridangam, violin, and everything, right? So I think we all of us should really put our heads together to make that happen.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
It's
Pleasure
amazing.
talking to you guys.
Right. Thanks, Anil.
Thank you, and good luck.
Thank you.